You are developing skills,
working hard, getting better. Expertise is growing,
yet results are mediocre.
compensation is average.
Opportunities are limited.
This is not skill problem. This is positioning problem.
Same skills in different position create 10 times the value. Same expertise in different market creates 10 times the compensation. Same capabilities in different context create 10 times the impact.
You are competing where skills are commodity.
Meanwhile, others position where skills are rare.
You work harder.
They earn more. This is strategic positioning. Stop developing skills in vacuum.
Start positioning skills where they create maximum value.
Identify leverage points. Position strategically. Multiply results 10 times. Begin now. Chapter 1. Stop developing skills without strategic positioning.
You invest years developing skills, thousands of hours practicing. Expertise grows, competence increases, mastery approaches.
Then you look around. Others with similar skills earn double.
Others with same expertise get better opportunities. Others with equivalent competence create bigger impact. You wonder why. Answer is positioning.
Skills alone do not determine value.
Skills multiplied by positioning determine value. Great skills in poor position create minimal value. Average skills in great position create massive value.
Positioning is multiplier. Skills are base.
Base times multiplier equals results. You focus on base.
Ignore multiplier. Results stay mediocre despite improving base.
Here is what most people miss.
Value is not inherent in skills. Value is contextual. Same skill is valuable in one context, worthless in another.
Software engineering is valuable in tech company, less valuable in construction company.
Financial analysis is valuable in investment firm, less valuable in non-profit.
Public speaking is valuable in consulting, less valuable in research. You develop skills assuming they have fixed value.
Build expertise. Expect proportional compensation.
Does not work that way.
Skills have variable value depending on position. Strategic positioning places skills where value multiplies. Poor positioning places skills where value diminishes. Same skills.
10 times difference in value. Example is data analysis skill.
You become expert analyst, can handle complex data, build sophisticated models, extract insights.
This skill has value, but value varies dramatically by position.
Working as analyst in large corporation.
Buried in analytics department. 1 of 50 analysts. Skill is commodity. Compensation is average. Impact is minimal. This is poor positioning. Same data analysis skill position differently creates 10 times value.
Small company with no analytics capability.
You are only analyst. Company makes decisions on gut feeling. You bring data-driven approach. Competitive advantage appears. Revenue increases. You get credit. Compensation reflects impact.
This is strategic positioning. Same skill, different position. 10 times value.
Another example is writing skill.
You become excellent writer.
Clear prose. Engaging style.
Strong arguments.
This skill has value, but value varies by position. Working as content writer in marketing agency. 1 of 20 writers. Producing blog posts. Skill is commodity. Compensation is hourly rate. Impact is invisible. This is poor positioning. Same writing skill position differently creates 10 times value.
Technical company with complex product. Engineers cannot explain features to customers. You translate technical to accessible.
Sales increase.
Customers understand product. You become indispensable.
Compensation reflects value created.
This is strategic positioning. Same skill, different position. 10 times value. Pattern is clear. Skills in commodity position create minimal value. Skills in scarce position create massive value.
You must position where skills are rare, not where skills are common, where demand exceeds supply,
where alternatives are limited,
where impact is measurable.
This is strategic positioning.
Most people develop skills then accept whatever position is available. Skill development happens first.
Positioning happens second as afterthought. This is backwards. Strategic approach is positioning first. Skill development second. Identify high-value positions. Develop skills needed for those positions. Enter position with relevant skills. Value is maximized from start. You might object.
Cannot know which positions are valuable before developing skills. Must build general skills first.
Then find position.
This is exactly wrong.
Developing general skills in vacuum is least strategic approach.
General skills are commodity everywhere.
Specialist skills matched to specific position create leverage. Better approach is market research before skill development.
Which positions have supply-demand imbalance? Where is expertise scarce and valuable? What contexts multiply skill value? Answer these questions first. Then develop skills aligned with answers. Enter market with strategic positioning from beginning. Also, skills are not fixed. Skills are portfolios. Different combinations create different positioning. Data analysis plus industry expertise creates different position than data analysis alone. Writing plus technical knowledge creates different position than writing alone. Unique combinations position you away from commodity towards scarcity. You have a choice. Continue developing skills without strategic positioning. Compete where skills are commodity. Accept average value despite above average skills. Or think strategically about positioning. Identify where skills multiply in value. Position deliberately. Create 10 times results from same skills. That is the key. Skills without positioning create mediocre value. Skills with strategic positioning create exponential value. Stop developing in vacuum. Start positioning strategically. Same effort, 10 times results. Strategic positioning is multiplier. Chapter 2. The value arbitrage opportunity. Value arbitrage is a simple concept with profound implications. Same skills are valued differently in different markets, different industries, different companies, different roles, different geographies. Massive value differences exist for identical capabilities. This creates arbitrage opportunity. Position skills in high-value market instead of low-value market. Capture value difference. Most people never think about arbitrage. Develop skills. Enter obvious market. Accept market rate. Never question whether same skills create more value elsewhere. Miss enormous arbitrage opportunities. Leave 10 times value on table. Here is how value arbitrage works. Skill X is common in market C. Supply exceeds demand. Competition is intense. Market rate is low. Same skill X is rare in market BN. Demand exceeds supply. Competition is minimal. Market rate is high. Same skill, different market. 10 times difference in compensation. This is arbitrage opportunity. Example is software development. In San Francisco, software engineers are abundant. Every company has engineering team. Supply is high. Demand is high, but supply is higher. Market rate is good, but not exceptional considering cost of living. Competition for positions is intense. Skill is commodity in this market. Same software development skill in non-tech industry creates arbitrage. Traditional manufacturing company, retail company, healthcare provider. These industries need software capabilities. Few have strong engineering teams. Supply is low. Demand is growing. Engineer who positions here is rare resource. Compensation reflects scarcity. Impact is visible. Career advancement is faster. This is value arbitrage. Another example is financial analysis. In investment banking, financial analysis is commodity. Every analyst has spreadsheet skills, DCF models, valuation expertise. Supply exceeds demand. Analysts compete for positions. Work 100-hour weeks for moderate compensation relative to output. Skill is abundant. Same financial analysis skill in operating company creates arbitrage. Manufacturing firm, technology company, service business. Finance function exists but is not core competency. Financial analysis capability is scarce. Analyst who brings investment-grade financial thinking to operating environment creates massive value. Strategic decisions improve. Capital allocation optimizes. Compensation and advancement reflect value. This is arbitrage. Geographic arbitrage also exists. Same skills valued differently by location. Software engineering in Tier 2 city pays less than San Francisco, but cost of living is fraction. Real compensation after costs might be higher, plus competition is lower. Positions are easier to obtain. Career advancement is faster. Quality of life is better. Geographic arbitrage captures value through location strategy. Remote work amplifies geographic arbitrage. Work for San Francisco company. Receive San Francisco compensation. Live in low-cost location. Capture wage differential. This is pure arbitrage. Same work, same pay, lower costs, higher real income. Industry arbitrage exists. Skills developed in one industry applied to different industry create value gap. Management consulting develops a strategic thinking and frameworks. Consultant moves to operating company, brings consulting methodologies to execution environment. Creates value because approach is rare in new context. This is industry arbitrage. Reverse also works. Operating expertise brought to consulting. Deep industry knowledge is valuable in advisory context. Consultant without operating experience cannot provide insights that operator-turned-consultant provides. This unique positioning creates value arbitrage. Company size arbitrage exists. Skills in large company versus small company create different value. Large company has redundancy. Specialist is narrow function, one of many. Small company has no redundancy. Generalist handles multiple functions. Scope is broader. Impact is visible. Often compensation relative to company resources is higher. Career growth is faster. This is size arbitrage. Role arbitrage exists. Individual contributor versus manager. Technical expert versus strategic advisor. Execution role versus leadership role. Same base skills positioned differently create different value. Technical expert who moves to strategic advisory role multiplies value. Manager who moves to executive role multiplies value. Repositioning same skills creates arbitrage. The pattern is clear. Value is not inherent in skills. Value is contextual. Same skills in different contexts create vastly different value. Smart positioning captures value gaps. Position skills where scarcity is highest, where alternatives are fewest, where impact is most visible, where compensation reflects true value creation. Finding arbitrage opportunities requires market awareness. You cannot arbitrage without knowing value differences exist. Research is essential. What do similar skills earn in different industries? Different company sizes, different geographies, different roles? Data reveals arbitrage opportunities. Also, arbitrage opportunities change over time. What is scarce today becomes common tomorrow. Early movers capture value. Late movers face commodity market. Timing matters. Identify emerging arbitrage. Position early. Capture value before market equilibrates. You have a choice. Accept market rate in current position. Assume compensation is fair. Never investigate alternatives. Or research value arbitrage opportunities. Identify where same skills create 10 times value. Reposition strategically. Capture arbitrage. That is the key. Same skills have different values in different markets. Value differences create arbitrage opportunities. Strategic positioning captures arbitrage. Same effort, 10 times compensation. Research markets. Find gaps. Position strategically. Chapter 3. Position at the intersection of rare skills. Single skills are rarely valuable. Most skills are commodity. Thousands of people have same capability. Supply is high. Demand is moderate. Value is limited. Competition is intense. This is single skill trap. Developing one skill deeply creates commodity positioning. Value exists at intersections. Combination of skills that few others possess. Each individual skill might be common. Combination is rare. Rarity creates value. Intersection positioning is strategic advantage. Here is how intersection positioning works. Skill A is common. Many people possess it. Skill B is common. Many people possess that too. But skill A plus skill B together is rare. Few people possess both. You position at intersection. You are rare resource. Value multiplies. Example is technical skill plus communication skill. Many people have technical expertise. Many people have communication ability. Few have both. Technical expert who cannot communicate is limited to technical roles. Communicator without technical depth is limited to surface roles. Technical expert who communicates exceptionally is rare. Can translate complexity to accessibility. Can bridge technical and non-technical teams. Can lead technical organizations. This intersection is valuable. Another example is analytical skill plus creative skill. Many people are analytical. Many people are creative. Few are both. Analyst without creativity produces reports that state obvious. Creative without analysis produces ideas disconnected from reality. Analyst who is also creative produces insights that are both rigorous and novel. This intersection is rare and valuable. Data plus domain expertise is powerful intersection. Data scientist is common. Industry expert is common. Data scientist with deep domain expertise is rare. Can apply sophisticated analytics to domain-specific problems. Understands what questions to ask. Knows what answers matter. Creates value that pure data scientist or pure domain expert cannot. Writing plus technical knowledge is valuable intersection. Writers are common. Technical experts are common. Technical expert who writes well is rare. Can create documentation that actually helps users. Can explain complex products clearly. Can produce content that converts technical features to customer benefits. This intersection is scarce. Sales plus product development is powerful intersection. Salespeople are common. Product developers are common. Product developer who understands sales is rare. Builds products customers actually buy. Knows what features drive purchases. Understands customer objections. Creates products that sell themselves. This intersection multiplies value. Strategy plus execution is rare intersection. Strategists are common. Executors are common.
Person who both strategizes and executes is rare.
Many can plan, few can deliver. Many can execute,
Few can strategize.
person who does both is exponentially valuable.
The pattern is clear. Value exists where skills intersect.
Each individual skill creates linear value. Intersection of skills creates exponential value.
Strategic positioning is identifying valuable intersections and positioning there. Creating intersection positioning requires deliberate skill portfolio construction.
Not random skill collection.
Strategic combinations that amplify each other.
Skills should be complementary, not redundant. Each skill should enhance value of other skills.
First, identify your current primary skill. What is your strongest capability? This is foundation. Then identify complementary skills that would multiply foundation value. If primary skill is technical, complementary might be communication, business, or design. If primary skill is creative, complementary might be analytical, technical, or strategic. Develop complementary skills to professional level, not expert level.
Sufficient competency to breach domains.
Technical expert needs sufficient communication skill to explain complex ideas clearly. Does not need to be professional writer. Analyst needs sufficient creativity to generate novel insights. Does not need to be artist.
Professional level in complementary skill plus expert level in primary skill creates powerful intersection.
You are expert in one domain, competent in complementary domain.
Combination is rare.
Most experts lack complementary skills.
Most people with complementary skills lack expertise. You have both. This is intersection advantage.
Also consider second-order intersections. 3 skills instead of 2.
Even rarer.
Even more valuable. Technical plus communication plus business understanding. Analytical plus creative plus domain expertise. These triple intersections are extremely rare. Value is correspondingly high, but diminishing returns exist. 4 or 5 skills creates generalist, not specialist.
Too broad.
Not deep enough in any area.
Sweet spot is expert in one skill. Professional in 1 or 2 complementary skills. This creates intersection positioning without sacrificing depth. Market research identifies valuable intersections. Which combinations are rare and demanded? Which intersections create unsolved problems? Where do industries need bridge skills?
Answers reveal strategic intersection opportunities. Also, intersections change over time. Technology creates new valuable intersections.
AI plus domain expertise is emerging intersection.
Climate plus finance is emerging intersection. Blockchain plus law is emerging intersection. Early movers into emerging intersections capture outsized value.
You have a choice.
Develop single skill deeply. Become commodity expert competing with thousands.
Or position at intersection. Combine skills strategically. Create rare capability combination.
Multiply value exponentially. That is the key.
Single skills are commodity.
Intersections are rare. Rarity creates value. Identify strategic intersections. Develop complementary skills. Position where combination is scarce. Same base skills. 10 times value through intersection.
Chapter 4. The Supply-Demand Positioning Framework.
Value is determined by supply and demand. This is economics fundamentals.
Applies to skills. Applies to positioning. Ignore supply and demand dynamics at your peril.
Strategic positioning requires understanding these forces and positioning where they favor you.
Most people think only about demand. What skills are wanted?
What capabilities do employers seek?
What expertise is growing? Demand thinking alone is incomplete. High demand with high supply creates commodity market.
Strategic positioning requires analyzing both supply and demand together.
4 quadrants exist. High demand, high supply,
high demand, low supply, low demand, high supply, low demand, low supply.
Each quadrant creates different value dynamics. Understanding quadrants enables strategic positioning.
Quadrant 1 is high demand, high supply. Many people want skill. Many people possess skill.
This is commodity quadrant. Web development fits here.
Content writing fits here.
Project management fits here.
Demand is real. Supply is abundant.
Competition is intense. Compensation is moderate.
Advancement is slow.
This is worst quadrant for positioning. Most people position in quadrant 1 accidentally. See high demand.
Develop those skills.
Enter market.
Discover supply is also high.
Stuck competing with thousands.
This is default positioning. Default positioning creates mediocre results. Quadrant 2 is high demand, low supply. Many people want skill.
Few people possess skill.
This is opportunity quadrant. Machine learning fits here currently. Specialized technical skills fit here.
Rare combinations fit here.
Demand is high. Supply is low.
Competition is minimal. Compensation is high.
Advancement is fast.
This is best quadrant for positioning.
Strategic positioning is identifying quadrant to opportunities and positioning there. Skills that are wanted but scarce. Markets that are growing but underserved.
Intersections that are valuable but rare. This is where 10 times value exists.
Quadrant 3 is low demand, high supply. Few people want skill. Many people possess skill.
This is obsolescence quadrant.
Declining industries.
Outdated technologies.
Commoditized services. Demand is falling.
Supply remains high. Competition is brutal. Compensation is declining. This is quadrant to avoid or exit immediately. Many people stay in quadrant 3 out of inertia.
Developed skills years ago.
Market changed.
Demand disappeared.
Supply remains.
They compete for shrinking opportunities.
This is strategic failure. Must recognize quadrant shift and reposition.
Quadrant 4 is low demand, low supply. Few people want skill.
Few people possess skill. This is niche quadrant. Highly specialized expertise. Rare capabilities.
Small markets.
Demand is limited.
Supply is also limited.
Compensation varies.
Can be very high for right niche or very low for wrong niche. This is viable for specialists but risky. Strategic positioning framework is simple.
Avoid quadrant 1 and 3.
Position in quadrant 2 when possible. Consider quadrant 4 for viable niches.
Focus effort on high demand, low supply positioning. This is where value multiples exist.
Identifying quadrant requires research.
Labor market data shows demand trends. Job posting analysis reveals what skills employers seek. Salary data shows compensation levels. LinkedIn analysis shows supply of people with specific skills. Combining data reveals quadrants. Also, quadrants shift over time.
Quadrant 2 today becomes quadrant 1 tomorrow as supply increases. Early movers to emerge in quadrant 2 capture value. Late movers find quadrant equilibrated. Timing matters. Identify trends early. Position before supply catches demand. Leading indicators predict quadrant shifts.
Technology trends create future demand.
Educational trends create future supply.
Demographic trends affect both.
Strategic thinkers read indicators. Position ahead of curves. Capture value before others recognize opportunity.
Example is data science 5 years ago. High demand, low supply.
Quadrant 2. Early data scientists captured enormous value.
Fast compensation growth, rapid advancement.
Now data science is moving toward quadrant 1. Demand still high. Supply catching up. Still good quadrant, but not opportunity quadrant anymore. Early movers captured peak value.
Current example might be air safety or climate technology.
Demand is growing. Supply is still forming. Quadrant 2 emerging. Early positioners will capture value.
Wait 5 years, might be quadrant 1.
Positioning strategy based on quadrants is clear.
If in quadrant 1, find intersection or specialization moving you toward quadrant 2.
If in quadrant 3, exit immediately and reposition. If in quadrant 2, maximize value capture before equilibration.
If considering quadrant 4, validate niche viability before committing. You have a choice.
Ignore supply-demand dynamics.
Position randomly. Accept whatever value market offers.
Or analyze quadrants. Position strategically in quadrant 2. Capture supply-demand arbitrage. Same skills. 10 times value through positioning. That is the key. Value follows supply-demand dynamics. Quadrant 2 is high demand, low supply. This is opportunity quadrant.
Research markets.
Identify quadrant 2 opportunities.
Position there. Avoid quadrant 1 commodity markets. Exit quadrant 3 declining markets.
Strategic positioning captures supply-demand advantage.
Chapter 5. Position where impact is measurable and visible. You create value. Work hard. Produce results. Impact happens. Yet no one notices. No recognition. No compensation increase. No advancement.
Impact exists but is invisible. Invisible impact creates minimal career value. Strategic positioning makes impact measurable and visible.
Here is what most people miss.
Creating impact is necessary but insufficient.
Impact must be seen to create career value.
Invisible impact helps organization, but not your career. Strategic positioning ensures impact is both real and visible.
2 factors determine visibility: measurability and attribution. Measurable impact can be quantified. Attributed impact is clearly linked to you.
Both are necessary. Impact that is measurable, but not attributed helps others.
Impact that is attributed, but not measurable seems like exaggeration.
Strategic positioning creates both. Positioning for measurability means choosing roles where output is quantifiable.
Revenue-generating roles are measurable. Sales has quota.
Revenue has numbers.
Performance is objective. This is high measurability positioning. Cost reduction roles are measurable.
Efficiency improvements show in metrics.
Process optimization creates quantifiable savings.
Productivity increases appear in data.
This is measurable impact. Product roles are measurable. User growth, engagement metrics,
Retention rates. Feature adoption. These quantify product impact.
makes contribution visible through data. Contrast with roles where impact is subjective.
Quality is real but hard to measure.
Team morale matters but is qualitative. Long-term relationship building creates value but measurement is fuzzy. These roles create real impact.
Measurement and visibility are difficult. Strategic positioning chooses measurable over subjective when possible. Positioning for attribution means choosing contexts where individual contribution is clear. Small teams have high attribution.
Each person's contribution is obvious. Large teams have low attribution. Contribution is diluted across many people. Individual impact is invisible.
Direct customer interaction has high attribution. Customer success.
Sales, support, client services.
Customer feedback attributes impact to specific individuals.
This creates visibility.
Behind-scenes roles have low attribution. Back-end systems.
Infrastructure,
Operations.
work is essential but invisible. When working well, no one notices, only noticed when failing.
This is low attribution positioning.
Project-based work has high attribution. Project success or failure is clear. Contributors are known. Impact is visible.
Ongoing operational work has low attribution. Keeps things running but no discrete outcomes.
Impact is real but invisible.
Strategic positioning combines measurability and attribution. Revenue role in small team. Product role with clear metrics.
Project-based work with customer interaction.
These positions make impact measurable and attributed. Visibility is maximized. Also, strategic positioning creates documentation of impact.
Even in high visibility role, impact documentation matters. Regular reporting, impact summaries,
Achievement tracking. Documentation makes impact permanent and shareable. Becomes basis for advancement discussions.
Many people assume good work speaks for itself. Wrong. Good work is silent without documentation.
Documentation gives work voice. Make impact visible through documentation, even when role has high natural visibility. Positioning also affects impact timing. Quarterly results create visibility quarterly. Annual results create visibility yearly.
Real-time metrics create continuous visibility.
Strategic positioning chooses shorter feedback loops.
Shorter loops create more frequent visibility.
More frequent visibility accelerates recognition and advancement.
Example is consultant versus internal employee. Consultant has project-based work.
Clear deliverables.
Measurable outcomes. High attribution.
Results are visible quickly, often quarterly or monthly.
This creates high visibility positioning.
Internal employee has ongoing responsibilities. Deliverables are continuous, not discrete.
Attribution is diluted across team.
Results are annual review, not monthly assessment.
This creates low visibility positioning. Both create value. Consultant positioning makes value more visible. Another example is product manager versus engineer.
Product manager owns metrics.
User growth,
Revenue.
engagement.
Metrics are visible and attributed to PM.
Engineer contributes to features, but attribution is team level.
PM positioning creates more measurable visible impact than engineer positioning for similar contribution.
This is not about actual value created. This is about visibility of value created.
Strategic positioning recognizes that visibility matters for career outcomes.
Chooses positions where impact is measurable and attributed.
You might object. This seems cynical.
Choosing visible roles over impactful roles. Missing point.
Strategic positioning chooses roles that are both impactful and visible.
Impact without visibility creates organizational value, but minimal career value.
Impact with visibility creates both. Strategic thinking captures both.
Also, increasing visibility in current role is possible, even when role is naturally low visibility.
Create documentation. Request metrics. Communicate achievements.
Present results. Make invisible work visible through deliberate communication. This is professional competence. But easier path is positioning in naturally high visibility role from start.
Revenue roles.
Product roles. Customer-facing roles.
Small teams.
Project-based work. Shorter feedback loops.
These positions create measurable attributed impact naturally.
Strategic positioning chooses these deliberately. You have a choice.
Position where impact is invisible.
Work hard.
Create value. Receive minimal recognition. Experience slow advancement.
or position where impact is measurable and visible.
Work equally hard.
Create visible value.
Receive recognition. Experience rapid advancement. That is the key.
Impact must be visible to create career value.
Invisible impact helps organization, not career. Strategic positioning ensures measurability and attribution.
Choose roles with quantifiable outputs.
Choose contexts with clear attribution.
Document everything.
Make impact visible. Same work. 10 times career value through visibility.
Chapter 6. The Emerging Market Advantage. Established markets are crowded. Competition is intense. Standards are high. Barriers to entry are substantial.
Differentiation is difficult.
Growth is slow. Value capture is limited. This is mature market reality.
Strategic positioning avoids mature markets.
Seeks emerging markets instead. Emerging markets have opposite dynamics. Competition is minimal. Standards are forming. Barriers to entry are low.
Differentiation is easy.
Growth is explosive. Value capture is enormous.
Early movers in emerging markets capture disproportionate value.
Here is why emerging markets create positioning advantage.
When market emerges, demand appears before supply. Early period has high demand and low supply. This is optimal quadrant.
First people to position capture this advantage.
Later entrants face equilibrated market with normal competition.
Example is mobile app development when iPhone launched.
Demand for apps appeared instantly.
Supply of mobile developers was minimal. First developers to position captured enormous value.
Built apps with minimal competition.
Established expertise early.
Became go-to experts.
Captured premium compensation.
This window lasted few years. Then supply caught demand. Market equilibrated. Advantage disappeared. Current examples might be AI implementation,
Blockchain applications, climate technology, quantum computing.
These markets are emerging. Demand is growing. Supply is forming. Early positioners will capture value.
Wait 5 years, markets equilibrate.
Identifying emerging markets requires trend analysis.
Which technologies are moving from research to application? Which industries are transforming? Which skills are newly demanded? Which problems are newly solvable?
Answers reveal emerging markets. Leading indicators include venture capital investment. VC money flows to emerging opportunities. Track VC trends to identify emerging markets. Research publications indicate emerging fields.
Academic research today becomes commercial application tomorrow.
Track research to predict emergence. Also listen to industry leaders.
What are they predicting? What are they investing in? What skills are they hiring?
Leaders see trends before masses. Following leader moves reveals emerging markets early. Positioning in emerging markets requires risk tolerance.
Established markets are safe, known demand, proven value, clear career path. Emerging markets are uncertain.
Demand might not materialize. Market might not develop.
Skills might become obsolete. This is risk,
but risk creates opportunity.
No risk means no advantage.
Everyone positioned in safe markets. No differentiation possible.
Calculated risk in emerging markets creates asymmetric opportunity.
Limited downside. Unlimited upside.
Risk is favorable.
Strategic approach is portfolio. Maintain position in established market. Develop skills in emerging markets simultaneously.
If emerging market materializes, transition. If not, established position remains. This manages risk while capturing opportunity.
Also, emerging markets require learning orientation.
Established markets have best practices. Emerging markets have no practices yet.
Must figure out as you go.
Learning becomes competitive advantage. Fast learners dominate emerging markets. First mover advantage in emerging markets is real. First position person becomes default expert.
Gets early opportunities. Builds reputation before competition appears. Sets standards that others follow. Captures mindshare.
This advantage compounds as market grows.
But first mover is not only mover.
Fast follower can capture value too. First mover makes mistakes, proves concept, validates market. Fast follower learns from mistakes, enters with better approach.
Captures value without pioneer risk.
Both strategies work. Both require early positioning before mass entry. Timing is critical. Too early and market does not exist. Wasted effort. Too late and market is crowded. Missed opportunity. Sweet spot is right as market emerges.
Demand is clear. Supply is forming.
This is value capture window. How to identify right timing.
Market signals include customer willingness to pay. Multiple companies solving similar problems. Media attention increasing. Educational programs launching. Industry events appearing. These signals indicate emergence. Position when signals align.
Geographic arbitrage exists in emerging markets. Market emerges in one location before others. Silicon Valley sees tech trends first.
New York sees finance trends first. Specific regions lead specific markets. Positioning in leading region captures early advantage. Then leverage expertise in following regions.
Geographic sequencing multiplies value. You have a choice.
Position in mature markets.
Accept intense competition and limited upside.
Play safe or position in emerging markets.
Accept uncertainty and risk.
Capture asymmetric opportunity. Early positioning creates 10 times value that late positioning cannot access.
That is the key. Established markets are crowded. Emerging markets have opportunity.
Early movers capture disproportionate value. Identify trends early. Position before mass entry.
Build expertise in emerging field.
Become default expert.
Capture value as market grows. Same effort.
10 times value through timing.
Chapter 7. Position as bridge between disconnected domains. Most value exists at boundaries.
Between industries. Between functions. Between expertise domains.
These boundaries are disconnected. Each side speaks different language, understands different problems,
Values different solutions. Communication fails.
collaboration fails.
Opportunity exists. Strategic positioning is bridge positioning. Connect disconnected domains.
Translate between languages.
Facilitate collaboration. Create value that neither side can create alone.
Bridge position is powerful because alternatives are limited.
Few people understand both sides. Supply is low. Demand is high. Value is enormous.
Here is how bridge positioning creates value.
Technical team builds product. Sales team sells product.
Technical speaks engineering.
Sales speaks business.
Neither understands other. Product is technically sophisticated, but sales cannot explain it. Sales knows customer needs, but technical cannot implement them. Disconnect creates problems. Bridge position is technical person who understands business or business person who understands technical.
Can translate technical complexity to sales messaging. Can translate customer needs to technical requirements. Facilitates collaboration. Product improves.
Sales increase. Value created is massive. Bridge person captures value. Another example is finance and operations.
Finance sees numbers and models.
Operations sees processes and execution.
Finance proposes optimizations that are operationally impossible.
Operations makes decisions without financial impact analysis. Disconnect creates suboptimal outcomes. Bridge position is operations person who understands finance or finance person who understands operations, can evaluate operational changes financially,
Can implement financial strategies operationally.
creates better decisions. Company performance improves.
Bridge person is invaluable. Academic and industry is classic disconnect. Academics produce research. Industry solves problems.
Research is rigorous but impractical.
Industry solutions work but are not rigorous.
Disconnect limits both. Bridge position is academic who understands industry or industry person who understands research.
Can translate research to application.
Can bring scientific rigor to practical problems. Creates innovation. Both sides benefit. Bridge person captures value from both. Technology and domain expertise is major disconnect. Technologist understands what is technically possible. Domain expert understands what is practically necessary. Technologist builds features no one uses. Domain expert wants capabilities that are technically infeasible. Disconnect creates failures. Bridge position is technologist with domain expertise or domain expert with technical knowledge. Understands both technical possibilities and domain requirements. Builds solutions that are technically sound and practically useful.
Value creation is enormous.
Building bridge positioning requires competence in both domains, not expertise in both. Expertise in one domain plus competence in second domain is sufficient.
Deep knowledge of one side.
Working knowledge of other side. This combination creates bridge capability.
Strategic approach is developing bridge skills deliberately. Identify domains that need connection.
Which disconnects create problems in your industry? Which boundaries limit value creation?
Answers reveal bridge opportunities. Then develop competence in complementary domain. Already technical, learn business fundamentals. Already in operations,
Learn financial analysis.
already in industry, study academic research.
Bridging skill development creates positioning advantage.
Also, bridge positions are naturally high impact and high visibility. Solving cross-domain problems creates measurable results. Facilitating collaboration produces visible outcomes. Attribution is clear because few others can do it.
Bridge positioning combines impact with visibility. Career progression from bridge positions is rapid.
Organizations recognize value quickly. Limited alternatives means you are difficult to replace.
Projects requiring cross-domain work depend on you. Advancement opportunities appear because bridge capabilities are rare and valuable.
Communication skill is essential for bridge positioning.
Must translate between domains. This requires understanding how each side thinks and communicates.
Technical to business.
Academic to practical.
Finance to operations.
Translation skill creates bridge effectiveness.
Also, bridge positioning requires credibility in both domains.
Cannot bridge if one side does not trust you.
Must demonstrate competence in technical to be accepted by technical team. Must demonstrate business understanding to be accepted by business side.
Building dual credibility takes time but creates sustainable positioning.
Networking advantage exists in bridge positions.
Know people on both sides.
Technical colleagues and business colleagues. Academic network and industry network.
These cross-domain networks create opportunity access that single-domain networks cannot provide. Information advantage exists too. Hear about technical developments from technical side. Hear about business needs from business side. Combine information. See opportunities that neither side sees alone. Information arbitrage creates additional value. You have a choice.
Position within single domain.
Master one area.
Compete with others who are equally specialized. Or position as bridge between domains.
Connect disconnected sides. Create value through translation and facilitation.
Become irreplaceable. That is the key.
Value exists at boundaries.
Disconnects create problems.
Bridges solve problems.
Position as bridge between domains. Develop competence in complementary areas. Facilitate collaboration.
Translate between languages.
Create value neither side can create alone. Same base skill. 10 times value through bridge positioning.
Chapter 8. The pain point positioning strategy. Value follows pain.
Acute pain creates willingness to pay.
Mild inconvenience creates minimal demand.
Strategic positioning targets acute pain points.
Where problem is severe.
Where current solutions are inadequate. Where frustration is high. Position there.
Solve that.
Capture value.
Most people position based on their interests.
I enjoy this skill. I want to develop this capability. I find this work interesting. This is backward.
Interest-based positioning disconnects from value creation.
Value comes from solving problems, not pursuing interests. Strategic positioning is pain-based. Identify severe pain points. Position to solve them.
Interest might align or not.
Irrelevant.
Pain determines value.
Position follows pain.
This is strategic thinking. Here is how pain point positioning works. Research identifies problems. Which problems create most frustration? Which inefficiencies cost most? Which processes fail most often? Which customer complaints are loudest?
Answers reveal pain points. Then evaluate your capability to solve identified pain. Can your skills address this problem?
Do you have relevant expertise?
Could you develop necessary capabilities?
If yes, position to solve this pain. Value capture is certain because pain is real. Example is cybersecurity. Data breaches create enormous pain.
Financial loss.
Reputation damage. Regulatory penalties. Customer trust destroyed. This is acute pain. Organizations will pay premium for solutions. Cybersecurity expertise positioned to solve breach problems captures value proportional to pain severity.
Another example is hiring process.
Bad hires create massive pain. Wasted salary. Lost productivity. Team disruption. Recruitment costs. Interview time. This pain is severe and recurring.
Positioning to improve hiring success captures value because pain is acute.
Customer churn is major pain point.
Losing customers destroys revenue, increases acquisition costs,
signals product problems, creates competitive vulnerability. Organizations experiencing churn pain will pay for solutions.
Positioning to reduce churn captures value from pain severity.
Regulatory compliance is pain point. Violations create fines.
Legal liability.
Business disruption. Changing regulations create ongoing compliance burden. Organizations pay premium for compliance expertise because violation pain is severe.
The pattern is clear. Value is proportional to pain. Severe pain creates high willingness to pay. Position where pain is greatest. Skills that solve acute problems capture more value than skills that create incremental improvements. Identifying pain requires customer research.
What keeps decision makers awake at night? What problems do they discuss most? What challenges threaten their success? What inefficiencies frustrate them?
Answers reveal pain points.
Also quantify pain. How much does problem cost? What is impact of not solving? Revenue loss?
Cost increase?
Time waste?
Quantified pain creates specific value proposition. Can demonstrate return on investment.
This accelerates positioning success.
Pain point positioning also determines pricing power.
Solving mild inconvenience has low pricing power. Customer has options, can delay, can tolerate problem. Negotiation favors customer. Solving acute pain has high pricing power. Customer has urgency. Tolerating problem is costly. Few alternatives exist. Pricing reflects pain severity.
Different stakeholders have different pain points.
CO pain is strategic. Revenue growth.
Market position.
Competitive threats. CFO pain is financial. Costs. Efficiency. Return on investment. Operations pain is execution. Process failures.
Capacity constraints. Positioning must align with target stakeholders' pain.
Also pain evolves. Today's acute pain becomes tomorrow's solved problem.
Must continuously research emerging pain points.
Reposition as pain landscape changes. Static positioning becomes obsolete when pain shifts. Emerging pain points create opportunity. New technologies create new problems. Regulatory changes create new compliance pain. Market shifts create new competitive pain. Early positioning to address emerging pain captures value before competition appears. Validating pain is essential.
Perceived pain might not be real pain.
Research might mislead. Validate by asking prospects. Is this actually painful? How painful? What would they pay to solve it?
Validation prevents positioning to solve problems no one cares about.
Also distinguish between pain customers acknowledge and pain they do not recognize yet. Acknowledged pain is easier to sell solutions for. Customer knows problem exists, agrees it needs solving. Conversion is straightforward.
Unacknowledged pain requires education. Customer must first recognize problem,
then understand solution. Harder sell, but potentially higher value if you are first to position. You have a choice. Position based on your interests and preferences. Develop skills you enjoy. Hope value follows. Or position based on pain points. Identify severe problems. Develop skills to solve them. Capture value from pain relief. That is the key. Value follows pain. Acute pain creates high value. Position where pain is greatest. Skills that solve severe problems capture premium compensation. Research pain points.
quantify severity.
Position accordingly.
Same skills solving bigger pain create 10 times value.
Chapter 9. Build positioning through specialized credentials. Skills alone do not create positioning. Skills plus credentials create positioning.
Credentials signal competence.
Reduce perceived risk.
Enable trust.
Open doors.
Same skills with credentials capture more value than same skills without credentials. Strategic positioning includes credential strategy.
Here is credential reality.
Two people have identical skills.
One has credentials.
One does not. Credential person gets opportunity.
Non-credential person is rejected. Skills are equal.
Outcomes are not. This is credential power.
Ignoring credentials is strategic error. Credentials come in forms. Formal education, certifications, published work, speaking engagements, awards, recognition. Each type signals competence differently. Each opens different doors. Strategic positioning selects credentials aligned with positioning goals. Formal education is traditional credential. Degrees signal foundational competence.
MBA signals business knowledge. Engineering degree signals technical capability.
Advanced degrees signal research ability. Education credentials open initial doors, particularly early career.
Matter less later, but never irrelevant.
Strategic approach to education credentials is specific. Not any degree. Right degree for positioning.
Technology positioning.
Technical degree matters.
Finance positioning.
Finance or economics degree matters. Generalist degree has limited signaling value. Specialized degree signals relevant competence. Certifications are tactical credentials. CPA signals accounting competence. PMP signals project management capability.
Security certifications signal technical depth.
Industry certifications signal specialized knowledge. Certifications demonstrate commitment to field. Filter candidates. Signal current expertise. Selecting certifications strategically matters. Recognized certifications have value. Unknown certifications have none. Research which certifications hiring managers recognize. Which certifications peers respect. Which certifications clients request. These are worth pursuing. Others are not.
Published work is credibility credential.
Articles demonstrate thought leadership. Books establish expertise. Research publications signal academic rigor. Content creation proves communication ability.
Published work differentiates you from peers with equivalent skills, but no publication track record. Strategic publishing aligns with positioning. Positioning in specific domain. Publish in that domain's publications.
Targeting specific audience. Publish where that audience reads. Random publishing has limited value.
Strategic publishing builds relevant credibility.
Speaking engagements are visibility credentials. Conference presentations demonstrate expertise. Webinar hosting shows thought leadership. Podcast appearances build audience. Speaking creates authority positioning.
Speaker is automatically positioned as expert. Strategic speaking amplifies positioning. Selecting speaking opportunities strategically matters.
Speaking to relevant audience builds positioning. Speaking to a relevant audience wastes time. Conference in your field with your target audience is valuable.
Random speaking is not.
Awards and recognition are external validation credentials. Industry awards signal peer recognition.
Company awards signal internal value.
Competition wins demonstrate capability.
Recognition from respected sources transfers credibility. Awards differentiate otherwise similar candidates. Pursuing awards strategically makes sense. Apply for respected awards in your field. Nominate yourself where appropriate.
Accept awards gracefully. Leverage recognition in positioning.
Some awards have value. Many do not.
Research which awards matter in your industry. Case studies are proof credentials.
Detailed examples of past success. Quantified results.
Client testimonials.
Before and after comparisons.
Case studies demonstrate applied capability. Theory becomes practice.
Claims become proof. Strategic positioning includes building case study portfolio. Creating case studies requires documentation.
Track projects. Measure outcomes.
Request testimonials.
Document success.
Over time, case study library grows.
Each case study proves capability.
Reduces risk for next client or employer. Accelerates trust. Enables premium positioning. Network credentials matter too.
Association with recognized organizations. Membership in selective groups.
Connection to industry leaders. Endorsements from respected figures. Network signals credibility.
Known by quality of your associations.
Building network credentials is strategic.
Join respected professional organizations.
Participate actively. Build relationships with leaders. Request endorsements from credible sources. Network credentials open doors that skills alone cannot. Online presence is modern credential.
LinkedIn profile. Professional website. Social media thought leadership.
Online portfolio.
Digital credentials are increasingly important. First impression is often online.
Strategic positioning includes online credential building.
Creating strong online presence requires consistency. Professional profile. Regular content.
Engaged network. Positive reviews. Online reputation management. All contribute to credential positioning. Neglecting online presence is increasingly costly. You might object. Credentials seem superficial.
Skills matter.
Credentials do not.
This misses reality. Skills matter for performance.
Credentials matter for access.
Cannot perform without access.
Credentials create access. Performance creates results. Both are necessary.
Also, credentials reduce friction. Hiring manager can verify credentials.
Cannot easily verify skills. Credentials enable quick filtering. Credentialed candidates get interviews.
Non-credentialed candidates are rejected regardless of skill.
Strategic positioning accepts this reality. Builds credentials accordingly.
You have a choice.
Develop skills without credentials.
Hope someone discovers your capability.
Face constant gatekeeping. Or develop skills with strategic credentials.
Signal competence. Reduce risk. Open doors. Accelerate positioning.
That is the key. Skills alone are insufficient. Skills plus credentials create positioning. Credentials signal. Enable trust.
Open access.
Build credentials strategically.
Formal education.
Certifications.
Publications.
Speaking. Awards.
Case studies.
Network. Online presence. Same skills with credentials create 10 times access. Access creates opportunity. Opportunity creates value.
Chapter 10. Positioning is dynamic, not static. You position strategically.
Capture value.
Success happens.
Then you stop thinking about positioning. Assume current position is permanent. This is error. Positioning is dynamic.
Markets change. Technologies evolve.
Supply-demand shifts. Pain points move. Strategic positioning today becomes commodity tomorrow.
Must continuously reposition. Here is positioning reality. Every great position eventually deteriorates.
Scarcity becomes abundance.
Emerging market becomes mature. Unique intersection becomes common. Value arbitrage closes.
This is inevitable.
Market forces equilibrate.
Early advantage disappears. Must reposition to maintain value capture.
Example is web development 2 decades ago. High demand.
Low supply.
Excellent positioning. Premium compensation. Easy employment.
Then supply increased. Bootcamps proliferated. Developers multiplied. Market equilibrated. Positioning degraded from exceptional to average. Developers who recognized shift repositioned. Those who did not face commodity market.
Machine learning is following similar path.
Currently high demand, low supply.
Excellent positioning. Premium compensation.
5 years from now likely equilibrated. Demand still exists but supply catches up. Early ML engineers capture big value. Later entrants face normal market.
Understanding this cycle enables strategic repositioning before advantage disappears.
The pattern is consistent.
Emerging opportunity appears.
Early movers position. Capture value.
Success becomes visible. Others notice.
Supply increases. Market equilibrates. Advantage erodes.
Cycle repeats.
Strategic thinkers recognize cycle. Reposition continuously. Maintain advantage by staying ahead of equilibration. Repositioning timing is critical.
Too early and you abandon working position prematurely.
Too late and equilibration catches you.
Optimal timing is recognizing leading indicators of equilibration.
Then repositioning before value deteriorates significantly. Leading indicators include increasing competition for roles.
More candidates with similar backgrounds. Declining compensation growth. Longer job searches.
These signals indicate supply catching demand. Strategic response is reposition before commodity trap closes.
Also indicators include standardization.
When position becomes standardized with defined career paths and common practices, scarcity is ending. Early positions have ambiguity.
Mature positions have playbooks. Standardization indicates equilibration approaching.
Repositioning strategies vary by situation.
Can deepen specialization.
Move from general ML to specialized ML application. Narrow scope increases scarcity.
Can shift to adjacent emerging market.
Move from current technology to next technology. Capture next wave.
Can move to bridge position.
Leverage current expertise plus complementary domain.
Create unique combination.
Can also reposition geographically.
Market saturates in one location.
Opportunities exist elsewhere. Remote work enables geographic repositioning without physical relocation.
Can reposition vertically. Individual contributor becomes manager.
Manager becomes executive.
Vertical repositioning changes value dynamics.
Key is maintaining strategic positioning advantage.
Avoid commodity positions. Seek scarcity.
Continuous repositioning is necessary.
Every 3 to 5 years evaluate positioning. Is this still advantage position, or has equilibration occurred?
Honest assessment drives repositioning decisions.
Career becomes series of strategic positions, each capturing value from temporary advantage.
String together series of advantage positions over career.
This creates sustained high-value capture. Contrast with single position for entire career.
Position starts advantaged,
equilibrates, becomes commodity. Entire career is commodity.
Strategic sequencing beats static positioning. Planning next positioning while in current position is smart. Do not wait until current position deteriorates.
Research next opportunities while current position is strong.
Develop skills for next position. Build credentials. Create transition path. Then transition when timing is right.
This is not instability. This is strategic career management.
Repositioning every 2 years is instability. Repositioning every 5 to 7 years as markets evolve is strategic. Staying in commodity position for 30 years is not stability.
It is strategic failure.
You might object. Constant repositioning seems exhausting. Prefer to master one position. Stay there. This worked historically. No longer works.
Market change velocity is increasing.
Positions that stayed valuable for decades now equilibrate in years.
Must adapt to new reality.
Also, repositioning does not mean starting over. Repositioning means leveraging current positioning to access next positioning. Skills transfer, credentials transfer, network transfers,
reputation transfers. Each position builds foundation for next, not random jumps.
Strategic progression. Some principles remain constant despite repositioning. Always position where supply-demand favors you.
Always ensure impact is measurable and visible.
Always target acute pain points. Always build relevant credentials. These principles apply regardless of specific position. Strategic framework persists even as specific positions change. You now have complete framework for strategic positioning. Stop developing skills in vacuum. Start positioning where skills create 10 times value. Identify value arbitrage opportunities. Position at intersection of rare skills.
Apply supply-demand framework.
Ensure impact is measurable and visible.
Enter emerging markets early. Build bridges between disconnected domains.
Target acute pain points. Develop strategic credentials. Reposition dynamically as markets evolve.
These are not suggestions. These are requirements for maximizing career value.
Skills alone create linear results. Strategic positioning multiplies skills, creating exponential results. Same skills, different positioning, 10 times different outcomes.
Most people will ignore this.
They will develop skills randomly. They will position wherever opportunity appears first.
They will accept commodity markets. They will remain in equilibrated positions. They will wonder why their expertise does not translate to compensation.
They will blame unfairness, never recognizing strategic positioning failure.
You can choose differently. Think strategically about positioning. Research markets.
Identify high-value positions. Develop relevant skills. Build credentials. Position deliberately. Capture value arbitrage. Make impact visible. Solve acute pain. Reposition as needed. This is not manipulation. This is strategic career management.
Creating value is necessary.
Positioning determines how much value you capture. You can create enormous value in poor position and capture minimal personal benefit, or create similar value in strategic position and capture substantial benefit.
Same effort, dramatically different outcomes.
Strategic positioning also serves organizations better. Positioning where your skills create most value means organizations get maximum return. Everyone wins.
Organization captures value from your contribution.
You capture compensation reflecting value created. This is alignment.
The commitment is thinking strategically about every career decision, not just taking next opportunity.
Evaluating whether opportunity positions you advantageously. Declining poorly positioned opportunities even when available. Waiting for strategically positioned opportunities. This discipline creates sustained advantage.
Stop accepting default positioning. Start choosing strategic positioning.
Research opportunities. Evaluate positioning. Position deliberately. Build credentials.
Create visibility.
Solve pain. Reposition dynamically.
Your career value depends on it.
Choose strategic positioning over random opportunity. Choose value multiplication over linear skill development. Choose 10 times results.